Hi, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your January 16th to the 31st, 2024 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, and it gets this channel seen by the YouTube algorithm. So, thank you so very much for doing so. And I'm sorry about my voice. I do have a bit of a cold, so do bear with me. So, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. And we had the star reversed fly out while I was shuffling before. And we have the Four of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Swords reversed. We have the Seven of Wands. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. And we have the Knight of Cups coming through. So the Knight of Cups is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. If you have water sign energy in your chart, if you have water sign energies in your life, this is going to come through very powerfully during this time. Also, if you're born on the cusp with Cancer, that's going to come through. And it's just really here during this time. It's just a need to follow your heart, follow what you love. Really embracing your emotions is going to be super, super, super important. With the star reverse, now this is Aquarius energy, meaning that this time can be crowned by a negative Aquarius energy. Time frame January 20th to February 18th. But this can also be, really looking at things and really seriously looking at your life, what you want. This can be illusions and delusions. This can be energy that is coming in that wants you to look at things one way, and it's not going to be as rooted in reality as you need it. So do be mindful about this here, Leo. It will be very, very easy during this time to get caught up in the dreams of things, which is fantastic. We all need to be, but we also need to be grounded in reality and looking towards the future, or just not like everything has to be future oriented, but very much a sense of how are these dreams going to help move me forward to where it is that I want to be. We're also getting out of our own heads a lot during this time, which is going to be very beneficial for us. We do have vampiric energy coming in. It can be from this negative Aquarius energy, so do be mindful about that, but it can be from negative dreams or negative ideas also. So being mindful and just being aware of that energy during this time is going to be super beneficial for us, because if we're sitting there and knowing, we can be like, okay, I'm not going to, I'm not going to fall prey to that, or I'm going to be a little bit more cautious, a little bit more aware during this time. And that's going to be a very good thing. It's going to be very beneficial to us as well. With the Seven of Wands reverse, there is something here about fighting that we have been in before, and we're going to be looking at things and saying, what do I need to spend my energy on? What am I wasting my energy on? What isn't building me forward? What isn't moving me forward the way that I wanted to, the way that I needed to for my body, mind, spirit, soul? So that's going to be really good here as well. It's not that we don't stand up for what we believe in. It's just that we don't get pulled in to all the trauma drama of everybody else and everything else, and thinking that we have to always fight, because it's just draining our energy. It's depleting us. Instead of saying, okay, I stand up for what I believe in. I know what it is that I hold to my heart and that I need to move forward in, but I'm not going to be pulled down other people's, chaotic paths. And that's going to be very beneficial for us. It's kind of like not rising to every occasion. So let's see what Spirit has to say. And if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a snowflake in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random and announced on the 1st of February. So good luck to everyone. All the directions will be in that video and also in the description box below of that video. Don't be scammed by anybody. And if you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or a healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. And the card that we have from Spirit is Inspire. And so this is going to be a time where we need to just be inspired. We need to kind of step out of our comfort zone and look at things differently. Even just stepping out of our energetic comfort zone, meaning that if we're usually rather anxious, nervous people, kind of embracing a bit of calm or a bit of adventure during this time is going to be very, very good for us. If we're usually very adventurous, like on the go people, embracing a bit of calm, slowing things down, taking things, into consideration with the heart is going to be just so important. And during this time with the Knight of Cups, moving forward with our heart, really saying, what is it that I love? What is it that's important to me? Where do my emotions want me to be? What is my heart longing for or looking for? Our chakra energy, angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels. This is the inner child, and we need to connect with our inner child. During this time, it will be so beneficial for us if we just do the simple meditation. And I know if you've been here before, you know it, where we just take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Close your eyes, center yourself, and see yourself as you are today, holding your arms open. And let the child that you were run into those arms. And just wrap that kid up in a huge hug and tell them, I love you. I'm here for you. I will always be here for you. I will always listen to you. I'm always connected to you. And just see how that makes you feel. Is it like finally somebody's listening to me? Finally, somebody's connecting with me. Because we're connecting with our inner child. And our inner child plays a huge part in the person we are in our day-to-day life. We don't realize how much our childhood, because, as the years go on, childhood is such a short period of time. And so when we connect with that, we don't realize that it's a short period of time, but it's a formative period of time as well. So let's see what our energy to be mindful of is. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Six of Pentacles reverse. Be mindful of things being out of balance, especially when it comes to money or what you value as much as money. Always feeling like people are pulling this way or that way. Just being aware that certain things can be out of balance around finances, around what you see as being intricately important to how things need to move forward. So being aware of this, seeing this for ourselves, is going to be a very important thing. Also, just being mindful that we ourselves might be out of balance and not as productive until we have that balance come back into alignment with ourselves. So just knowing that we can feel pulled in 18 million different directions, and we can also just feel stressed or overwhelmed, it could be just something that we're going through, and being kind and compassionate to ourselves and giving us a time to, take a breath, take a beat, take a breath, and connect with our own bodies, with our own selves, with what we want, and recalibrate. That can be astoundingly beneficial for us, Leo. So let's see how this time astrologically correlates with this time in the tarot. So let's look at everything. On the 16th of January, we have the moon in Aries squared Mercury in Capricorn. This is a difficult time for communication. So just be mindful about this. This is going to be a difficult time for everyone. So everyone is kind of stumbling over their words. They're feeling frustrated. This is going to be a time where we need to listen before we talk. And everybody's going to want to talk first, listen second. So just being aware of that. Don't schedule any meetings if you can for the 16th. Really just stepping back and listening. And if the only person you can listen to during this day is yourself, that's fantastic. So just being aware. On the 17th of January, we have the moon in Aries trine Venus in Sagittarius. This brings stability and security into our life. We feel way more comfortable, way more secure. We're grounded, and we're much more present within ourselves. So that's going to be a really big thing. We're releasing a lot of the chaos that we're used to, but also knowing that on the 16th, where we feel like we're stumbling over everything, it's going to be a day where really the dreams of things can start being corrupted by the energy of you shoulda, you coulda, you woulda. So just be mindful of that during this time, that we can get really caught up in the illusion of something, kind of like our little perfect, our little Miss Perfect or Mr. Perfect, or our little perfect can come out and make us feel like, oh, but it has to be just like this, or it has to be just like that. And Spirit's like, why? Give yourself a break during this time. It's going to be really, really, really important. On the 18th of January, Mercury is in Capricorn, sextile Saturn in Pisces. Mental discipline is going to be very helpful for us. This is going to be a day where we're much more focused, we're much more practical, we're very goal-oriented, and we're really going to like that. We're going to like having tasks to kind of check off, and we're going to feel very accomplished. Moving forward with the heart is going to be difficult for us, though. So just being aware of this during this time, that emotionally we're going to be like, oh, I love this, I want to move forward with this emotion, and yet we're going to be a little bit more snippy with ourselves, very, very regimented. So just be mindful about this. Also, on the 19th of January, we have Venus in Sagittarius squared Neptune in Pisces. We're empathetic, we're compassionate. It's just going to be what leads us. And know that because everybody is led by this compassion, by this empathy, we do have people more than willing to take advantage, lower energy vibration people. Because you can say, well, if everybody's in such a love and compassionate mood, why would we be taking advantage of each other? Because we do have lower energy vibration people who are like, okay, great, you're going to be, you're going to be helpful, you're going to be compassionate, you're going to be empathetic, I'm going to just drain all your energy. And we're kind of going to be very used to that, very used to that kind of, it's like contractional way of being. So with the four of pentacles, just be mindful about this during this time. Make sure you have clear boundaries. Make sure you know what you will do, what you won't do, how you will move forward. And being gentle with yourself during this time is going to be really important, and not overextending yourself, because you're going to think, oh, I could just do everything, right? Because we're Leo and we just do everything. And Spirit's saying, okay, slow it down, slow it down. On the 20th of January, we have the sun in Aquarius, and the sun moves into Aquarius, which makes this time rather exciting. This is a time to really make a difference. This is a time to embrace doing things differently. Now, we do have the star reversed, and the star represents Aquarius energy. So it can be that we have a bit of a rocky start with the Aquarius season. So just putting that out there for you to be forewarned about. So, okay, I just have to kind of walk gently, be kinder to myself, kind of slow things down. We need to step out of our comfort zone. But Leo, we can tend to take things just a little bit too far and really want to do something wild and crazy. Spirit's like, go slowly into the Aquarius timeframe. That's going to be the best way for us. We want to make huge changes and really focus for our future. And that's great. But again, go slowly. We're going to want to be like an all or nothing type of time, and it doesn't need to be. Also on the 20th of January, we have Pluto entering into Aquarius. Now, with Pluto coming back into Aquarius, we get extra focus. We are way more into what is going to change and transform our lives. We're really looking at taking control of our future and being more inventive, being more unconventional. So again, we really want to take these huge leaps forward. We want to do everything really intensely, really broad strokes. Like it's just going to be, we want to get so much done on the 20th. And Spirit's like, slow it down, calm it down. We're going to spend this whole time really looking at the vampiric energy, the energy that kind of wants to pull us down to a lower energy vibration. And we're going to be freeing ourselves from a sense of negative self-talk, okay? From a sense of, feeling trapped or feeling like I can't, and our mind kind of playing little tricks on us. This can be a time where if you suffer from panic attacks, or if you have any type of chaotic energy in your life, you start to look at it. But it can be that it kind of steps forward a little bit more during this time. So just be mindful about this. This isn't to scare you. This isn't to say anything bad is going to happen at all. But it is to say, because you're releasing it and you're seeing, I don't always need to be on the defensive. It's kind of like when you have a fist, right? And you're always clenching your hand like this. When you let it go, just for those few seconds, I can feel how tired my muscles were and how they still hold the memory of being so stressed. They have to be relaxed. So if we always have our spirit energy so tense, so, held so tightly, it can be very hard for us to move forward in the way that is just kind of freeing and easy. So being mindful about this is going to be super important. Also on the 20th of January, we have the sun in Capricorn conjunct Mercury in Capricorn. Something that has been brewing over the past 6 to 8 weeks is going to come to a head during this time. We're going to start to see the results. And we're really going to have the sense of like, oh, okay, now I have ideas of what I want to work on and how I want to work forward and how I want things to move forward. So the 20th is going to be a time where we have a lot of energy coming at us. We kind of have to temper it. And then we're going to see something come through where it's like, oh, follow that thread forward. On the 22nd of January, we have the moon in Gemini opposite Venus in Sagittarius. This is a lazy day. If you can write it off as a lazy day and just kind of like pull the covers up over your head, do so. That's going to be the most beneficial for you. We can really be a dreamer on this day, so just be mindful about that as well. We need to give ourselves a break, and we need to give ourselves time to get things done. We're going to have like a huge, if we have a huge to do list on the 22nd, we're going to get frustrated because it's not going to all get done the way that we want it to. So just being aware of that is going to be super important. It's going to be kinder to ourselves. On the 23rd of January, we have Venus entering into Capricorn. And Venus is the planet of love and pleasure. And then we have Capricorn, which is practicality. And so we're really beginning to enjoy, being ambitious, being focused, being goal oriented. We might always enjoy that because it's kind of a Leo thing to really always enjoy that kind of like, let's push the envelope type of thing, but we're really making progress and we feel like, oh, this is exciting. This is big news. In love, we're going to be more conventional. We're going to be more committed. So just be mindful about that. If you want that energy, fantastic, utilize it. If you don't want that energy, just also be mindful about it during this time. On the 24th of January, we have the moon in Cancer, trine Neptune in Pisces. Helping other people is going to be really important to us on this day. We need to get out of our own head, out of our negative energy space, but also we can actually use a lot of our life experience, Leo, to be able to be like, oh, well, I get this, right? I get this. And I've moved forward from it. We're very supportive. We're very understanding. So just be aware of that. And also be supportive and understanding to yourself. On the 25th of January, we have the moon in Leo squared Jupiter in Taurus. It's difficult to focus. Again, 25th, just kind of like, take it off as a lazy day. It's also going to be an intense day because the full moon is in Leo. So it's in our sign. We'll have a completely separate video on that going more in depth. So just be compassionate to yourself during this time. It's going to be really, really important. Don't bite off more than you can chew and don't try to get too much done. On the 26th of January, we have the moon in Leo squared Uranus in Taurus. We feel restless. We feel restless. We feel agitated. We're not really sure why. This is also going to be a time where we're releasing and we're seeing a lot of patterns or a lot of things that have just been messing with our head. And we're going to start setting ourselves free. And we're going to start to really work on what our heart wants, really connecting with our emotions. During this time, if we let our heart lead us, not in a kind of reckless, emotional whim type of way. But if we really say to ourselves, what do I love? What's sacred to me? What's important to me? That can actually be very emotional. I can see that bringing a lot of you Leos to tears, like just to say, what do I love? What's sacred to me? What's important? And it opens up the heart in a way that we hadn't imagined and we hadn't anticipated. And it's going to be a big deal for us. On the 27th of January, we have the sun in Aquarius squared Jupiter in Taurus. This is a feel good day. Now, it's very much a rabbit in the hare. No, that's both a rabbit. What is it? The rabbit and the tortoise, or the hare and the tortoise type of day, where like the rabbit, we feel like, oh, I got this, right? I absolutely got this. And then we can wind up falling asleep and missing the whole entire race. So just be mindful about this during this time, that because it's like everything feels good. Everything feels like, oh, I got this. I got this under control. We can bite off way more than we can chew on this day because we can start to see everything. Everything's lining up like little toy soldiers. And we're like, oh, I got that. I got that. I got that. There's no need to worry. And we can really get ourselves into a pickle. So just be mindful about this. Mercury is in Capricorn, conjunct Mars in Capricorn on the 27th. Our mind is super active. We have new ideas. We have new plans. We're jumping from one idea to another with this, sense of like, of course I can do it. Again, it can be just a little bit intense. We also have Uranus going direct in Taurus. Now, Uranus coming out of retrograde means an end of a time where it just felt like we were stuck. So a lot of change starts coming forward. And because we felt like we were stuck, we're like, now I'm going to change everything. So the 27th can be a very big day for us. And we can want to change absolutely everything. Go slow, be reasonable with yourself. You're going to want to do so much more. And spirit's like, okay, you can write down ideas. This is a fantastic time to fill up an idea journal, not a whole idea journal on this day. I mean, maybe if you are really inspired, but don't put too much pressure on yourself. This is a time to really get a lot of ideas, kind of write things out. You can see the pattern of things. You can see the step of things. And that's going to be really cool. It's going to be really inspiring, but it can also it it's just a really brilliant day. And we can think, oh, every day it's going to be like this because it just becomes so clear. And spirit's like, no, it's not going to be. So just be aware of that during this time. And that vampiric energy also coming in, it's very interesting where everything starts to come forward. And if we lead with our heart, we'll be kind of really well set. Very much so to say, okay, what do I love? What am I going to pay attention to? We can be really present in the moment. But if we don't lead with our heart, we can start to look at things and have it be like, well, you had that idea last time and you didn't do it. And you did this and you didn't do it. And you're just, kind of like waste of space and you don't follow through. So be mindful of that negative self talk that we can feel like we have to battle against during this time, or it just comes in, it kind of hits us out of nowhere. And it's like, what the heck? What the heck? I'm doing a good job. Or I'm trying, and that's all we can do as human beings is try our best and kind of like, try your best and forget the rest. So just be mindful about this. It can also make things a little bit like, yeah, you're going to be harsher on yourself. You're going to see things in a much more like black and white way, white page, black print. It has to be just like this. And this is going to be a day where, again, your mind is so inspired. Let things flow and be kind to yourself. On the 28th of January, we have Venus in Capricorn, sextile Saturn in Pisces. This is this is a pleasure focused day. We get pleasure, not a pleasure focused day, but this is a day of getting pleasure in really focusing on our goals of what we want, connecting with people, helping people, being responsible. We're really going to see that it's like I get pleasure out of achieving and succeeding and moving things forward. We also have Mercury in Capricorn, trine Uranus in Taurus. Unconventional ideas are just going to come forward in a really kind of like awesome way. It's like I'm thinking out of the box. I'm seeing things. I'm opening doors. Like doors are opening for me because I'm not held to this belief or this idea or it has to be this way. And it's just going to become very liberating for us. Venus is in Capricorn, trine Jupiter in Taurus. Luck is on our side. Seriously. We just feel a little bit lucky. We can get things done. We really benefit from having somebody in our life, even if it's our dog, right? That sits there and looks at us and says, of course you can do it. Just gives us that little doggy wag of their tail. That's like, of course you can do it. And that smile that I absolutely believe in you. If you don't have that, this is going to be a time where we start to connect with our energy, with spirit, with ourselves, and say, of course I can do it. Like, of course I can do it. Of course the doors can open. And that's going to be a really big thing for us here, Leo. On the 29th of January, we have Mars in Capricorn, trine Uranus in Taurus. The energy and enthusiasm here is so strong. It's so beautiful. We need to take advantage of it. And what we're going to do here is really like do things differently and embrace the unusual. So that's going to be exciting for us. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I can do that. Okay, I can step out of that comfort zone. Or, oh, that doesn't seem as hard as it did once upon a time. On the 30th of January, here's where things get a little bit tricky. Okay, so on the 30th of January, we have the moon in Libra squared Venus in Capricorn. We don't want to deal with other people, okay? If we cannot, that'd be great. We're going to find people to be a bit annoying. We need to give ourselves a break and we need to be patient with ourselves and with others. Are we going to want to be? No. So just be mindful about this. Everybody's just a little bit cranky on the 30th. On the 31st, we have the moon in Libra squared Mars in Capricorn. Again, irritable energy. All right. It's like we're ending 2020. We're ending the first month of 2024. We're just like being a little bit cranky. So just be aware of this. Be aware of the vampiric energy. Be aware that we can kind of have a tendency to make things bigger in our head than they actually are. So just being mindful about this during this time. We don't need that energy to come in. We need to embrace it because the sun is a star, right? It's our closest star, but it is a star. We need to embrace what we want from our lives. We need to kind of show up for ourselves during this time and say, okay, where do I want to be? What's important to me? And how am I moving forward for me? And that's going to be the game changer here. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is joyous reversed. We cannot be joyous. We can be very goal oriented, very strict with ourselves, but we need to let the joy in. If we don't let the joy in, it's just going to feel like I'm stuck, I'm stuck, I'm stuck. Why am I always stuck? So being aware of that is going to be super important. Our subconscious energy, our chakra energy is personal power. And this is the solar plexus chakra. Spirit is really stepping forward and saying, I'm powered. I'm, listening to my gut, listen to your gut, listen to listen to your tummy. I know that sounds really funny, but if you have an upset stomach, why? If you feel sick to your stomach, why? It might be that you have a bug, like I do, or it might be that your gut is telling you something, and we've become so used to not listening to our guts and not listening to ourselves, and we listen to everything else in the world, and everything else is pulling our attention. Our world is greedy for our attention. Let's start paying attention to us and embracing our own personal power. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Three of Pentacles. This is going to be a time, Three of Pentacles, we might not be working as well with others as we want to be, or there's a sense of people trying to kind of like steal our thunder and say, oh, I did this when it was really us. So just be aware of this during this time. Just be a little bit more guarded with your work. Our subconscious message from spirit is the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is healing, beautiful love. Subconsciously, so much is healing. So much is moving forward in the last half of January. And we're going to feel that really within ourselves. It's like we've come over a hurdle. And that's going to be a really important thing. It's going to be a really powerful thing. All right. All right, Leo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. And please know that this meditation and healing will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Leo. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.